Hi, Shiloh. I'm Kelly Spees, and I finally have some commercial auto and general liability quotes for you today. I do apologize. It has taken me some time to get this put together for you. It's just been a whirlwind of the last few months, and we've had some family flu stuff go around, and just lots of things, and it really kind of put me behind schedule. So I do apologize that it took so long to get this to you. What I'm going to do is there is a quote on the screen behind me, and I am going to shrink myself down into the bottom corner of the screen, and I'm going to go over the quotes with you. And then it's kind of late in the day, but tomorrow I'll give you a call so we can discuss the quotes and go over it and see what you think. So anyway, without any further ado, you're going to see me scrunch right on down into the bottom corner, and then you'll see the quote, and you'll be able to follow along the quote in this video. Also, just know after you get this video, you will get probably about 45 minutes or so to an hour. You will get a second email, and that email will have the actual hard copy of the quotes that I'm going over with you today. So you can print it out, scribble on it, have a bonfire with it, whatever the case may be. But you'll get this actual proposal in your email inbox. So keep an eye out for that. So here we go. I'm shrinking. Now you should still see me down here in the bottom corner waving at you. If you do not see me, but you can hear me, please let me know, because then that means something has gone wrong with the video. Anyway, so what you should see on the screen, you should see my hand moving the cursor here in a circle around my agency logo. So KS Pacific Insurance Agency, that's me. And this is a commercial risk management and strategic plan specifically designed for you, Shiloh Martinez. The next page of the proposal, when you get the copy, this is what you'll see. This is a picture of the sign above my office door, and just some blurbs and information about me. We are a 5-star Google reviewed company. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We're everywhere. You see some of my things. We recently branched out this week into TikTok. Scary stuff. Anyway, the next page, this is the general liability quote. And so what you can see here is my hand is moving the cursor along. This is for Vision Coffee Lounge, LLC. This is the coverage for the general liability policy. It's $1 million each occurrence for bodily injury and property damage, with $2 million general aggregate. Now, this is the standard that's typically required of you, but every once in a while I will run across someone who is working with another business and they are required to carry higher limits. So if that is the case, I can always quote this at higher limits for you. But this quote is $1 million with a $2 million aggregate for the GL, general liability. It comes with $2 million for products and completed operations. And the reason that that is important is because your product and completed operations is coffee. So if someone was to sue you because they were unhappy with your coffee, and I'm not talking about foodborne illnesses or that they say that your coffee made them sick or things like that. That's a separate coverage. That's spoilage. I'm actually talking about products and completed operations. So if they were just unhappy with the product that you presented as your completed operations, a little bit difficult in the world of food, but not entirely impossible, which is why this coverage is there. So the next coverage is personal and advertising injury, $1 million in coverage. And what that means is that if you were to accidentally, like let's say you created a flyer or a sales brochure or a social media advertisement, and you accidentally, without knowing, you stepped on the copyright toes of somebody else and they sued you, that's what this coverage is for. I can tell you a real quick story. I actually have a couple of stories related to this coverage. One of them is there was a car wash in my local area, and the gentleman that owned the car wash decided to have an early bird sale right around the holiday time, and he created a flyer. And I know this gentleman did not know this just because of who he was, but in his flyer, he actually used a character from Angry Birds. And now I know that he did not know that what Angry Birds was or that it was trademarked. He was an older gentleman, and that is trademark and copyright infringement. And he was fortunate he was not sued, but if he had been sued, this is the coverage that would have kicked in and covered that for him. The next one is damage to rented premises, which is also $1 million. So these coverages, I just want to explain to you, these coverages you see here, they come pre-bundled, built in together. You can't just pick one of these coverages off. They actually go with the full policy. And the reason that I mention that is because a lot of times when people see the damage to rented premises, they tend to go, oh, no, I don't need that. Here's why you do need that. So you're going to be on somebody else's property. Now, you might not be renting that property, but because you will have an agreement which will allow you to be on their property, somebody else's property, wherever it is that you're going to park your truck and trailer, that is considered premises rented to you. Even if you don't pay a fee for it, it's still considered premises rented to you. If something were to happen and you caused damage to that property, you would be responsible for that. Well, let's pretend that you caught it on fire. And now when you catch it on fire, let's pretend that it's in a strip mall. And that premises, when it catches on fire, now causes damage to the next one and the next one, and maybe the entire strip mall has smoke damage. That's a lot of money that's going to be spent to repair it. And you could be liable for that. So that is why you need damage to rented premises. Now, the coverage is of $1 million. That is preset by the insurance company. When they bundle these coverages together, they determine that whatever this first coverage is here, this occurrence, the rest follows accordingly. And that is why damage to rented premises is $1 million, because it matches the occurrence. Now, the last of these coverages here is medical expense coverage. And so what that is let's say on your pickup window for your trailer, I don't know if it has an awning, but if it has an awning, let's pretend it does. Somebody goes walking around your trailer and they hit their head on your awning. You just want to get them to the hospital, get some x-rays, maybe a stitch or two, call it a day and stay friends. That's what medical expense coverage is for. Now, the next section of this quote, you're going to see classification. In the world of insurance, even though you're coffee, you're considered mobile food operations. This is the class code, and this is the rating basis that the insurance company uses on the background. Doesn't necessarily mean much to you, but that's their basis. That's the fundamentals of how they determine premium. Now, the next page is what we call the BPP, business personal property. Now, what business personal property is, it is different than the equipment that is attached inside your vehicle. The equipment that is attached inside your vehicle is covered under the auto policy, under the attached equipment there, okay? BPP is for anything that is your loose content, your pots, your pans, your POS system, in your home office where you do your paperwork for your business. It can be your computer, your desk, your chair. Those are all things that are considered business personal property. And so we have $5,000 of coverage there. Okay? Now, BPP is covered under the general liability policy, so it is bundled up here with the general liability. Now, the next coverage, I also just want to kind of touch real quick on this. You're only seeing one quote in this section from me, and the reason why was because none of the other carriers were either willing to accept your business or their rates were so crazy high that it wasn't worth mentioning. So I just wanted to point that out, that's why I've provided you only with one quote. on the general liability. Now going down here to the auto. This is the auto policy, and what I want to show you is you see here that both vehicles, both VIN numbers are listed here. And you should see my hand circling that on the screen, the VIN numbers in the two vehicles, the truck and the trailer. And then what you're going to see here on the left-hand side is the coverages. And then you're going to see 3 different quotes here. Okay, so I'm going to go over these with you. The first one is a company called Foremost. Now, Foremost offered you $500,000 of combined single limit. Combined single limit, what that means is that it's the liability for both the property damage and bodily injury combined into one coverage instead of breaking them out separately. So that's what's done in commercial insurance, is that they're typically combined. Not always, but usually. So one of the things I want to point out about this is they only offer you $500,000 of combined single limit. In the commercial world, $1 million is standard for commercial auto. So $500,000 is all that they are willing to offer you. Foremost is a great company. They have good premiums. However, if you are in a situation where you decide that you want to go to a festival or an event, somewhere where you want to take your food trailer, your coffee trailer that's aside from your normal location, those companies are always going to ask you for a coverage of $1 million. So what that means is that if having only $500,000, if you were to go to an event, you're going to have to get a separate insurance policy to meet those requirements, which then makes you double insured, which is not ideal. So I just wanted to point that out. The $500,000 combined single limit, CSL, that's all Foremost was willing to offer you. They were not willing to go up to $1 million. On the liability, and the reason the property damage is got little stars in it is because it's the property damage is built in with the liability under the combined single limit. Uninsured motorist, again, the uninsured motorist matches the liability, and that's why it's $500,000 in combined single limit. That was all they were willing to offer you. Now, comprehensive and collision, these are your deductibles. And what I can tell you is that Foremost was not willing to give you a $500 deductible. The lowest they were willing to go was a $1,000 deductible for both comp and collision. Okay, and this is on both vehicles. They did offer the waiver of collision deductible, which what that means is that if it's your fault, you don't pay the deductible. So Foremost did offer you roadside. So it's towing, and they offered you rental car on the truck, not the trailer. So if your truck, something was to happen, you had an accident and the truck had to be replaced, they will give you a rental car for the truck, but not the trailer. There's no glass coverage for Foremost. Their policy for 12 months was $4,832.52. with a monthly payment of $396.81, and you would put $984.40 down on that policy. Okay, so that's with a company called Foremost. Whoops. Sorry about that. I'm bumping the screen around. Okay, now let's go over option number 2. Option number 2 is Progressive. Progressive does offer you $1 million in coverage. So if you were to go to a festival, an event, a food truck, thing, maybe there's a vendor fair that your city is having, anything where you are required to carry $1 million in coverage, which again is the standard, Progressive provides that. And they do provide it in combined single limit, CSL, which is again why we have the stars here, because it's combined in the liability portion. $1 million, again, for the uninsured motorist because it matches the liability. Now, Progressive was willing to give you $500 on the deductibles, so they were willing to give you lower deductibles. So Progressive included the waiver of collision, so if it's your fault, you don't pay that deductible. They were also included the roadside, so there was no additional premium for them to include the roadside. Now, Progressive does not offer you rental car for your truck. I just want to point that out. That's why it says NA. They also do not offer glass coverage. Now, Progressive, now here's what I want to tell you. Here's what I want to point out to you. Progressive only offers this coverage to you at a 6-month policy. So, grand total for the 12 months for a full year comes in at $6,109.52. Now, you may be saying, well, why does that matter? And here's why. So, because they only offer you a 6-month policy, they also only offer you 3 payment plan option. So they will allow you to make your down payment and then 2 monthly payments. They will not allow you to pay every single month. So on a 6-month policy, when you renew it, what that means is that in 6 months, you're going to have to put another down payment, and then so you will only make a grand total of 4 payments, monthly payments, and 2 down payments instead of 1 down payment and 11 monthly payments. If you have questions on that, please feel free to ask and I'll explain. But essentially, you would be paying $1,222.96 down the first time for the first payment, the first down payment. Then you will make 2 payments of $927.90. Then you will make another down payment of $1,222.96, and then 2 more payments of $927.90. Okay, that's Progressive. Option number 3 is a company called Infinity. Infinity offers you pretty close to what you're getting with Progressive. $1 million combined single limit for the liability and the property damage, $1 million for the uninsured motorist, but then they give you so this is where they're different than Progressive. Infinity does not give you a $500 deductible. They give you a $1,000 deductible on the comp and the collision. They do include the waiver of collision, and they do include the roadside, no additional premium. They do also have the rental car for your truck, but not the trailer. No glass coverage. So as you can see, none of the companies are going to offer you glass coverage. Infinity Infinity does offer you a 12-month policy and not a 6-month policy. So Infinity is $6,502 for 12 months. Their down payment is $585.18, but you will make 11 monthly payments of $544.89. So the next page here is going to be the breakdown. Here's my recommendation. Of course, we have the general liability policy, which the premium is $510 for 12 months for a year. They don't charge any taxes or company fees or broker fees. I myself do not charge broker fees. So their total premium is $510 to start the policy. And then it's $127.50 down. And it's like $38 and some cents in change monthly payments, okay, for 12 months. On the business auto, my recommendation is that Infinity policy. And you might be saying, but Kelly, that's the most expensive of the 3. And I'm saying, yes, it is, but it has the broadest coverage and it has the best payment plan. So this is really going to depend on you. If you are okay paying $1,200 down every 6 months and making only 4 payments monthly throughout the year of $927, then Progressive is a better company than Infinity. However, if you need the monthly payments, the 11 monthly payments with the lower down payment, then Infinity is the better option. Infinity is a great company as well. Progressive is just a better known company. They're a bigger company. They have more money behind them than Infinity does. Okay? That's really the only difference, is Progressive is a huge conglomerate with billions of dollars behind them. Infinity is a slightly less huge conglomerate with slightly less billions of dollars behind them. That's literally the only difference. Now, under workers' comp, you're going to see NA. I know that that's coming for you, but right now it's just you, so I did not prepare any quotes for workers' compensation yet. The next pages of the proposal are just some glossary terms, which, just kind of self-explanatory. And of course, you always have me. I can answer any questions, but these are just some terms for you to understand what they mean. Then the last page is just, my contact information, how you can find me, and a request for you to send me referrals. So that's it. that is the proposal. Again, you're going to get this in your email box in about an hour. So this actual proposal here, you're going to get this sent to you in email, and then I will give you a call tomorrow so we can discuss. So I hope that helps. Again, I apologize for taking quite so long to get back to you. I know you've been waiting on this, and my sincerest apologies. And thank you for having patience with me, as you know, I know time went by. So I will give you a call tomorrow and we will discuss. You have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.